there, and welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuk with Queen Bee Creations. Thanks for joining me today. If you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to do so. We try and come at you at least twice a week, Mondays and Fridays, with different thrift flips, crafts, furniture refinishing, really whatever I have going on in the shop. And it's a messy shop, it's a busy shop. So let's jump into today. So today is kind of fun. I actually tested this one out. Usually I just kind of experiment with you guys. But before I went away on vacation, I wanted to see if this would work or not. So I didn't get a chance to film it. So I'm gonna make a new one because it did work. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take an empty clear glass bottle. And I'm saying bottle, you can do the same technique on any kind of clear glass bowl or little jar if you want to drop a tea light in. But I happen to have picked up this little guy, which is a plastic cork that has a battery in it and then lights. So we can put the cork in, have the lights, and it's got a switch to go on and off because we're going to be doing this. So we're going to be painting it up and making it so that it glows. It's beautiful in the daylight, but at night it really, really shines. So it's a great little addition to just add some lights up on a mantle, on a dresser, on a side table, something like that. So super easy. I'm going to show you how to do it. So we want clear glass to start. So you could go with a... Do they have glass pop bottles still? Glass pop bottle, maybe? You want smooth glass? I'm just feeling that I didn't get all of this totally clean. So you definitely want to get all of the glue off. That's what I'm feeling here. And then make sure your surface is all clean. So I am just using some rubbing alcohol on a little paper towel rubbed all over so that I have a really nice dry surface. So you can use glass water bottle, glass pop bottle, wine bottles. I don't think this was a wine bottle. I think it might have been a gin bottle, a vodka bottle. I was at a friend's on vacation and he was pouring out a liqueur and I'm going, oh, and he goes, really, Cindy, you want a liqueur? And I go, no, you're using up the last of it. Pour the rest out into her cup. I want the bottle. So I stole the liqueur bottle. I tell you, you know you're a crafter when you're at a friend's house and you're stealing their garbage. Oy. So I don't know what this started life out as. This is some kind of alcohol too. So you know what? Whether you drink alcohol or not, you probably have friends that do. Get them to save the bottles for you. And you need to, so a couple things we're going to use. I'm going to use a Sharpie to kind of roughly draw out my pattern. And it's just a fine tip Sharpie. That line isn't going to show, but it also wipes off really well with a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a paper towel. So any mistakes that you make, or you could dip in a little Q-tip if you just made a little mistake. So don't agonize over the drawing part. You get to clean it up, smooth it out, anything like that. And it just gives you the lines to draw within. The thicker black lines are added in after, okay? So this is just to give you an idea where you want to go. You can do it all freehand. You could, if you were doing a square, you could tape it off. You could take a stencil and just draw within the stencil lines, or cookie cutters you could draw around or within. If you want a perfect circle, take something round, trace around it, cut out a shape, and then just use that outline. So don't think that you have to freehand it all, even though I'm going to freehand it all. You can use outlines of anything, but I thought for this one, what I might do is just an under the sea kind of theme. So this first one, I did like a big sunflower in a frame and stars going up the side, and I did big leaf and some flowers, harder to see. You can kind of see. And and then just some shapes and things like that. So this one, I'm doing a little scene, so some fish, but glasses on, glasses on so I can see. But I thought that what I would do first is draw some, you know, kind of seaweedy kind of things going up that my fish will be swimming around. So just see, just rough little lines, just enough that you know where to paint, right? Okay, so I just have a bunch of those shapes all the way around. And now I'm just going to draw in a bunch of fish shapes. So I'm just doing nice, simple fish. So pretty much what you would expect maybe your kids to do, right? Oh, that's not good. All right, so here you go. I had a really weird shape to that fish's head, so we're just taking that away. And that's the beauty of this. You also don't have to have them be perfect. I mean, come on. Look at that fish. and the little head peeking out. Nothing really fancy, right? I'm also going to add maybe a few little water bubbles going up here and there. Okay, so I've got all of my patterns roughly drawn on, and now it's time to paint. For this, you need to have glass paint. We want this to be translucent. We want the light to shine through it. So we're not going to be using like an acrylic opaque paint. We want this to be something that you can see through, right? So when we're doing this, it's all kind of open. Now you can do this so that there's sections where you've got the clear shining through. Mine, because it's an underwater scene, all my background's going to be blue. I might maybe make it go up to yellow a little bit, kind of showing that maybe you're at the surface. But you need to have glass paints. And the kind that I have always used, I think it's called Pebeo, P-E-B-E-O, Pebeo, Pebeo. I think it's Pebeo, but you know, whatever. Say it however you want. And the Vitrail. And these aren't the cheapest paints on the marketplace, but they go a long way. So doing some smaller things with tea lights and other projects, I think these make really, really cute gifts. These little corks, I'll give you the link. I bought a thing of 30 of them off Amazon, so I'll give you a link to that. But I think that you can buy them by the each, you know, one at a time, small little pack from dollar store as well. So you just unwind this and put this in, and you've got your light. If you're doing something more open, then you can just insert a candle or even a little electric one. But they come in these. You need to use mineral spirits to clean your brush. So I have a little cup with a little bit of mineral spirits, and that's all I'm going to need to be able to clean my brushes from all of this. I also found that to get a more intense color, I actually did 2 coats of the paint. So you do have the option, all right, 2 coats of the paint, except for the light blue color, which I just did 1 so that I had a lot of translucency going through it. So like the green has 2 coats. You can do shading by doing coats over top, like different colors over top of things. And you can mix these to create your own shades. So don't be afraid to kind of, you know, play with it a little bit. So I'm going to be doing fish in unrealistic fish colors, like oranges and yellows and things like that. I'm just looking for, you know, and I'll pull out like my purples and stuff. This comes with like, it's like a purple and a red and a black, a brown, a green, a nice light blue, orange. There's two colors of greens actually, which is nice. And a yellow, and I think this is like a dark blue, light blue, and then the mauvey color, the purple color. So I'm gonna start by painting in my bottom. So you can see, and this dries pretty quickly and it goes sticky, so kind of tacky feeling. So you can layer your next color paint over it. Usually I paint it all and then I'll go and I'll paint the next in. But it will ultimately dry completely dry to the touch, and you can clean this you know, gently with water, no problem. I wouldn't use chemicals on it, obviously, but you can definitely take a damp cloth and clean it off. But I will do one coat over everything and then see how I want to add in more colors. So, you know, I've got two colors of green, you know, maybe I want to add a little definition by adding in that second green color. I don't know yet. But the detailing of it comes last. So this step, we're just putting color on, painting it on wherever you want, whatever color you want, and then painting on your second coat. And it'll take 24 to 48 hours to dry fully, right? So beyond that tacky stage. As you're painting some of these sections, you may find that maybe your paint dries a little too fast, or it's a little too thick, or anything like that. Just remember then that you can add in more mineral spirits, right? You can just dip your brush into some mineral spirits to be able to reactivate some of the paint, because that's how you get rid of it off your brush. And you can either spritz it on and wipe it away, or you could use it to thin out a section because it looked a little too streaky, or whatever you want to do. Now I'm going to paint all of the fish in yellow, and then on my second coat I will add in more colors over top, just so that I get a bright base, and then I can leave some just like that, or I can add in some other details and other colors. Everything is dried on the bottle, and I admit it doesn't look like much at this stage, but this is where the outlining kicks in. And I have an oil-based paint marker, and I've got like a Sharpie permanent marker in gold paint. It's the kind that you have to shake up. It's not like just a regular old Sharpie. So they're both really permanent, and I use those a lot. You can get all kinds of other paint markers. I like the oil-based for doing this part just because it's really particularly permanent, and then you can wipe down with a wet cloth. But really at this stage, all that you're doing is you're taking your marker and you're just starting to outline your design. And this is where you just start to add in the details. So you can follow those faint black lines from your original marquee. But you can see how, hard to see on here, but there you go. You can see how that starts to bring out that pattern. And again, you know, you can add in, you know, a couple of lines on it as well to be able to add more detail. But you're just going to go and you're just going to start to outline all of your design and add in all that detail. Now, what I will do is I will take the gold one and I will put maybe some dots on the fish's belly. I'm going to use the gold to outline the bubbles going up. So you can use some of those other colors, you know, maybe like a white if you wanted. You might have a white that you wanted to add some little white detail, but I quite like the outlining being simple. You're trying to have the light shine through kind of all of the translucency. So, you know, any of the markers are going to be really opaque. So I like to use as little of them as possible and leave most of the color to be the glass paint so that it all just kind of shines right through that. Our bottle is done. And you can see I added the bubbles in the silver. I did little gold dots going up the outline of the seaweed. And it looks cute as this, right? You can kind of maybe see a little bit better with the white behind it. But they really perk up when they're lit, right? And the cool thing about this is that you could just do geometric shapes on it, you know, triangles and squares and things, and then paint it all up. And you could do pictures, you could do them themed. I think I want to do an angel next. So you can put in lots of detail, you can put in just a little bit of detail. The highlighting with the black marker and some of the gold, I did do a little bit of silver for the bubbles, just kind of sets it off, just kind of makes it. So really, then you just kind of untwist all of this very carefully. It's very fine. So I just want to get it all untangled before we stuff it into our bottle. And where these really shine and where they're just a lot of fun, whether on your mantle, on a side table, is when you light them up. And the nice thing is that they're battery operated. So there's no candles, no flame, works fine in a kid's room or as part of a tablescape for the holidays. You could do some that are, you know, Halloween themed and have ghosts or, you know, whatever. They're just kind of a super cute idea. So you just keep popping, popping all of this cording in. It'll work its way down and kind of fill the space. If you needed, you could, you know, pop a dowel in there and shift it around a little bit if you needed to, but I found that it just kind of pushes itself into the right spots. So these come with a little tab that you pull out, which is keeping your battery alive. And then we're just popping it in and we're able to just turn it on ourselves. So you can kind of see all those fish swimming around there a little bit better. This one as well, all lit up nicely. And they're just kind of a cute little idea for a tablescape. Certainly as well, you can have different sizes and shapes of bottles, which makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more colorful. I hope you give it a try. I think that this is just a cute, fun idea, super easy. The biggest expense is the paints. I got mine at Michael's. I got them on sale, but that's the biggest expense. But it goes far. So you're able to do the same idea on windows if you wanted to create like a faux stained glass effect. You're able to do this on small little clear glass tea light holders to be able to then have it reflecting. I think that this is a cute little hostess gift. So coming up into the holidays, if you need a little something to be able to take over to people's homes as a quick little gift, it doesn't require candles, so you don't have to worry about scents and who's allergic to what, who doesn't like, who has birds, can't use this kind of, you don't have to get into any of that. You don't have to worry about allergies or anything. These just light up on their own. Let me know what you think. Love to hear from you as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, take care.